everybody, welcome. Good morning or afternoon, depending on where you are.
Good morning.
All right. Good morning, Lou. Good to see you again.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. So what are we going to talk about today? Welcome to Business Broker Crowd Call, where we talk about all things business brokerage related. And primarily try, education, really just discussion, time to address any issues. Get my, they can stay there, my Otter AI. Anyhow, that's really what it's all about, is just answering, any questions, any topics anybody has about business brokerage, any issues you got in a deal. If you're not a business broker, you're a commercial agent, residential agent, if you want to understand more about business brokerage, ask the questions. And there are people here in this, in the group or on the call that hopefully will be able to provide good answers for you. So feel free, open up your mics when you're talking, and then mute yourself when you're not, and that way we can maintain things pretty well.
I'd like some clarification on the asset versus stock sales. There's been quite a few changes that have come about, and I understand that now we can do stock sales up to a level. I'm not quite sure how the new legislation works out.
So what was passed is at the federal level. And at the federal, it used to be that if you were, a stock sale of any kind, it violated the securities laws, unless you had a securities license. So you were in violation of some of the SEC rules. Now, there had been some opinion letters where they essentially had said, if you're selling 100% of the stock and you're not involved in transferring the stock, and you're not holding stock, you're not doing capital raise, you're not doing a certain number of things, then we're not going to come after you. But nonetheless, at the state level, any attorney could go after the business broker that did the stock transaction for violating federal law. So now that federal law has said, okay, as long as you're selling, you can sell stock. There's a M&A, there's an exemption now for M&A transactions where, I don't recall the exact levels. I'd have to look it up, but basically it's no longer in violation of the SEC rules. However, every state has different laws. And so your state securities laws may still prevent it. So they're trying to get clarification. Some of these states have adopted the SEC's, the new federal law, and they're amending their state laws accordingly. Hang on a second. Sorry, didn't want to cough in anybody's ear. So that's where that's at. Lou, you're in California, right? So in California, right now, CAB is trying to get some clarification before sending out any kind of notice to all the CAB members. They're dealing with a couple of different securities attorneys and wanting to get an opinion letter from those securities attorneys on exactly what process needs to be followed in order to be exempt from securities licensing, both at the federal and at the state level. So as soon as we have that, it's going to be a checklist approach. You're going to have to follow the rules. And if you deviate from those rules, you still can find yourself in trouble. But that's what's in the works, for at least for California. And I would imagine some of the other associations are probably doing the same thing, and just, trying to get a securities attorney in their state to put together instructions or directions for all the brokers on how they can go ahead and do stock sales in a manner that is that doesn't violate either federal or state law. So we'll have more coming out as soon as we have that. You'll get a note. You're a member of CAB, right, Lou? Yeah. So we'll get that to you.